Hi everybody, my name is Kevin and this is the Royal We. Today I have 4 tips for gaining respect from narcissistic people. This is an important video for those of you who are dealing with toxic family, parents, siblings, friends, or coworkers. Now, tip number 1 and tip number 4 are the most crucial. Tip number 4 is the most difficult to process, which is why I'm putting it last. Now, I will try my best to include chapters along the bottom of this video so you can skip to the tip that you'd like to hear. Now, before I get into these tips, I want to let you know that I'm here for your support. Those of you who need one-on-one time, you can schedule that with me down below in the description box. That's where access to my calendar can be found. So head on down there and schedule that one-on-one time with me. Now, let's get into Tuesday's tips, beginning with tip number 1, redefine the relationship. Who are those people and what does it even matter? This is the foundational tip that all the other tips depend on. You've got to get this tip right in order to make the other tips work. It helps to understand that toxic relationships are typically bound together by false narratives. A whole lot of, well, you have to be involved with these people, you have to be involved with those people. This is especially true when it comes to family and parents, which, by the way, if you're an adult, you don't get to have parents anymore. As an adult, you are the parents. In my own personal experience, I had to go through the excruciating journey of learning to detach from in-laws. I had to break from the idea that I somehow married into another family and detach and accept that I married to become a family. So now, as I bring my family together with another family, the dynamic is different. It's 2 individual families coming together with mutual respect. And if that mutual respect doesn't exist, then the relationship doesn't need to exist. This is a foundational tip because before you can go any further with toxic people, you have to know where they end and you begin as an individual, as independent. You can't gain respect until you first become separate. Tip number 2, after you redefine your relationship, you want to be able to say no and don't go. It may dawn on a lot of you that you have spent a good majority of your life being yanked around like you're on some kind of a leash, going to all their events, going along with all of their plans. And the mistake we make in this is to think that going along with whatever these people say gets you respect because you're loyal and you show up. The fact of the matter is when people believe they control you, they believe you have no choice but to be there with them. They don't respect that. Now, when you do say no for the first time, expect a backlash. Calling you selfish and whatever for no longer going to their stuff. This has nothing to do with them missing you. It has more to do with the fact that they're fighting to regain control. You're like a fish that's getting off of its hook and they're fighting to get you back. It's a crushing blow to their ego, which toxic people need to have. Narcissists need to have their ego crushed. This is the only way they're going to respect you. So let them thrash about. Distance yourself from their thrashing so you don't get pulled into it. And having no relationship is better than being involved in a relationship where there's no respect. Okay? Number 3, the third tip is let them accommodate you. The point is to see if they'll even show up for you. This will tell you a lot about how much they really care for you, or if they only cared about you as much as they could control you. So put it on them to make effort into your life. Don't be the one to call them, make them call you. And allow them the opportunity to show up for you and to show an interest in your life. This will, in time, show if they have any respect for who you are as a person and the things that you enjoy. Now, the 4th tip is the most difficult one to process. And that's because this tip is to not pursue respect. Pursue detachment. I'm going to say this again. Don't pursue respect with toxic, narcissistic people. Pursue detachment. What you're going to discover, and this is the difficult part to process, is that with a lot of people, especially toxic narcissistic people, you have to treat respect as a relationship style, a relationship type that may be all on its own. In other words, you may not be able to have respect from these people and a loving, intimate, close relationship. And you're going to have to accept that. But you accept that by detaching from them. So when you detach, you're mourning the loss of those people. You're mourning the loss of that loving, intimate connection in exchange for ultimately having respect. With narcissistic people, oftentimes the less they know about you, the less intimately you're involved, the more respect they actually have. This is why narcissists seem to be more respectful towards complete strangers. There's not enough of an intimacy for any control to exist. All right? So if you pursue detachment, if you pursue independence, your individuality, and making your own life, then respect will eventually be automatic. Pursue detachment, and respect will follow. Listen, I want to be a part of your healing journey and to help you to understand these things even further. Down below in the description box, you'll find access to my calendar for one-on-one appointments. Telephone calls, FaceTime, WhatsApp video calls are available. Head on down there. Follow me on Instagram at @JoinTheRoyalWe, where I like to communicate with a lot of people there, ask questions, and engage with you all, where you can give me ideas for tips that you want to know about. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and I'll be back next Tuesday with more of Tuesday's tips right here on The Royal We.